Hey up, welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you all again. If you're returning to watch another one of my videos, welcome back. Thank you very much for your support. If you're new here, I do a range of new and used car reviews. As the channel grows, we have new channel partners coming on board. I've been down to see one of the newest today, which is Toyota. Now it's my local Toyota dealer. They are part of the Vantage Group franchise, so it's Vantage Toyota in Scarborough. You've probably heard of Vantage. I mean, Joe that I've been speaking with, he sorted me out today with the new hybrid Yaris, the 4th gen Yaris. It's an award-winning car. I'll pop Joe's contact details in the description below, but for this review we'll be taking a look at basically what the new 4th gen's like. What is it like since Toyota have fitted its newer range of cars with the new chassis, all the underpinnings that they've redeveloped to obviously make it better. Now we'll go through a bit of that later on, but for now we're going to see how it drives and what it looks like, what it's like inside compared to its rivals such as the Ford Fiesta, Volkswagen Polo, and even the Honda Jazz that we had on the other week. Is it as practical as the Jazz? And with it being a hybrid only, is it as good as the EHEV system that Honda use? So without further ado, let's crack on. So not only will you notice the more aggressive styling on this 4th gen Yaris, it's on a whole new chassis. Toyota have really pushed and obviously recreated across all its platformer ranges, the Corolla, the Yaris, the CHR, the RAV4, everything, all new chassis, and they're really well designed. The chassis is 5mm shorter, it's 50mm wider, and it's 40mm lower. Wheels are pushed further apart, so they're more towards either corner to improve handling and stability, but also increasing the interior space inside, which we'll take a look at in a bit. With plenty of kit available across the range, it's this model that I'd recommend or hire. The icon is a little bit basic, whereas this design comes with the 8-inch infotainment system. It comes with rear privacy glass, and also available is a range of 16-inch and 17-inch alloy wheels. The ones that are fitted with this design are the machine cut black 16-inch alloy wheels. As you can see though, it's really well styled. You've got the nice gloss black grille, you've got the blue accented Toyota emblem, just so you know it's a hybrid. The gloss black trim on the bumper, body coloured bumpers, these nice sharp headlights. I really like them with the LED daytime running light running up the side and around the corner. Now the headlights on the new Yaris are full LED, and with Toyota's Sense pack, their safety sense, they are auto dimming and they also auto light. You obviously have your little radar at the front down here. That's for your dynamic cruise control. Obviously works well together with the Toyota Sense safety package. So let's go around the back. So towards the rear, it's similar to the front. Nice mix of piano black accents on the top of the boot lid here. The rear spoiler, you get body coloured accents such as the shark fin antenna, the rear bumper itself. Now again, the blue accented Toyota emblem, obviously with it being a hybrid, they're really on a push for pushing their self-charging hybrids and also their plug-in hybrid range. The technology is really good. This so far driving today has been absolutely excellent, but we'll go through that later on in the video. Now, styling wise, I think it looks really nice from the front and the rear. It's got that wider stance, it's squatting quite low body shape wise, but it's not too in your face, so it's going to suit a mix of both. The younger generation, obviously first car, second car, things like that, it's going to appeal to them, but also for the more older generation such as myself, if I want a little small hatchback for carrying the kids around town, little school run tootler, or even the older generation that just want a nice, economical car that's lovely to drive. This is perfect. It's not going to upset anybody. I think the styling offers a mix of everything for everybody, so everybody's going to be happy. So when you climb in the new Yaris, you'll find that the cabin is both functional and it's up to date and quite modern. The plastics itself within the car, they feel quite sturdy and robust. They're not a cheap plasticky feeling in places where you think you might. Just down here is a little bit where you might catch your legs on, but everything else it's quite nice and squidgy and nice. It doesn't feel cheap. So the dash itself is quite dark. I wouldn't say it's dull because you have the little silver accents that obviously, like on the steering wheel and down here, they contrast with the darkness a little bit. There is two colour options available for the fabrics on the seats and the door cards. Obviously a little bit of a silver colour, so obviously that may break up the contrast in the darkness a little bit. But compared to the likes of the Peugeot 208 and the Renault Clio, it's not as modern and in your face. It's practical and it's usable, which is great for day to day. Similar to the Honda Jazz that we had on a few weeks back. I really like the dash in that. It was modern, flat, the materials used were good, where everything was accessible and easy to use. There was plenty of storage, just like there is here. I mean, you have your little storage cubbies at the top here and one down here that's perfect for your phone. There's a 12-volt socket down there. There is the USB port here. The Yaris across the range does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which I found is a lot easier to use day to day than Toyota's infotainment system. I found the menu quite complicated. It took me a little bit of obviously faffing around this morning. I mean, it's easy enough to get used to, but obviously day to day it might get a little bit annoying. So obviously Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is standard across the range, so you do know that you've got that. From the driver's seat though, the view of the instrument panel is really good. You've got two circular digital displays either side. You've got your speedometer on the right hand side here, and on your left you've got, obviously it tells you about your economy mode, your revs and things like that, and if you're in EV mode, and when you're using the regenerative braking, how much charge is going back in. You can also get that up on the infotainment screen, which is pretty good. It's got a good menu so that you can see and track the economy of the car. There's a little digital display in between, but you get nice graphics. It's nice and clear. It's not as crisp as what I found in the Honda Jazz, but it's still very usable and it looks good, so that's quite a positive. The seats are quite firm, but they're not overly firm where they're uncomfortable. There is plenty of adjustment in the steering wheel, which is quite good. Also in the seat, you get, the only thing with it is it's not a twisty knob on the back, it's a handle, and I always find them a little bit iffier just to get in there. But you have front and rear electric windows. With it being the design model, you do not get electric windows on the icon in the back. So in the rear, it's a nice place to sit. I mean, I'm not the tallest of people. I think I'm about 5'9", 5'10", but even behind this passenger seat, I've still got plenty of leg room. Headroom isn't too bad. I mean, if you're 6 foot plus, you'll probably catch your head a little bit, but for short journeys, it's not going to be too uncomfortable. With this design, you do get the rear electric windows. Behind the driver's seat though, I think it'd be kind of reasonably alright too. Obviously there's a nice gap between the floor and the actual seat, so you can tuck your feet under the seat so you can stretch your legs out a little bit. Space in the rear, I don't think that's going to quite happen with 3 adults across the back, as this with the transmission tunnel is quite, yeah, you're in the fetal position a little bit. Even with the rear privacy glass that you get on the design trim and higher, it is still reasonably light here. You get a nice view out. The windows don't go all the way down though, but if you are going to be using this primarily for a little town tootler family car, going to and from school, nipping around the town, it's super practical. It is nice to drive, it's economical, and it's good for the family too, with Isofix fixings just down here on both outer seats. You know that your kids are going to be safe in the back, and you can fit their car seats, and even all the children with the booster seats, they're going to have plenty of room in the back, and they're going to get a nice view out of the car. Let's go and have a look in the boot. Now, as you can see, the boot isn't too bad. It's not as big as some of its rivals, such as the Clio, the Polo and the Honda Jazz we had recently. They are a larger capacity boot, but in the new Yaris you get 270 litres of boot space, which is more than plenty for a little super mini, if you ask me. I mean, look yourself, there's a nice wide opening. There is a bit of a low load lip, so obviously lifting your shopping in, there's going to be a bit of a drop. You do have tethering points on the back of the seats, but yeah, I mean, for a little super mini, it's not a bad boot at all. I'd be quite happy with it. I mean, would you? Let us know in the comment below. So, nothing much else to say here. Let's take it out on the road and see how it drives. Here we are out in the 4th gen Yaris. So far so good. I've only had it for a few hours this morning, but driving around it is generally really nice to drive. The seats are really comfortable, quite firm, but they're not so firm that it makes it an uncomfortable ride. The suspension soaks up the bumps really well. It actually holds the road really well. The handling, obviously for this sort of car, it's a little super mini. The steering is light, but it's not light where it's not engaging, if you get my meaning. The steering wheel controls are really easy to use, quite handy and accessible, with Toyota's Sense package. You get adaptive cruise control. The steering feel is really nice. With the Toyota Sense safety package, you get auto headlights, auto dimming high beams. It's fantastically kitted. You get a lot of kit with this car, and I'm surprised because it is a Yaris. Now, we are in the design model today, which comes with the machine-faced 16-inch alloy wheels, tinted rear windows. The rear windows are electric, and you get this 8-inch infotainment screen, which is quite handy. It's accessible. You don't have, with it being quite high up on the dash, you don't have to distract yourself much from the road. The stereo system in this is really good. I mean, for me, I like my music, so having something that plays good crisp sound is quite important for me. But I can see why this is an award-winning car. It drives really, really nicely. Round town, the hybrid system works really well, but it's averaging 71 miles to the gallon. Now, that's incredible for a 1.5 litre petrol hybrid. That is really, really good. It's a nice little nipper. I mean, when you need to, but obviously stick your foot down getting out of a junction or whatever, it pulls really, really well. The little boost you get from the hybrid motor. I mean, with the CVT, there is a bit of a delay. It's like a rubber band effect, but it's not too bad. You can live with it. I'm really sorry about this rain. I mean, it's absolutely pelting it down now. It's typical British summer weather though, isn't it? For a car, I mean, this design model starts from just over £21,000. For a full hybrid, it's a very reasonable price. I'm really pleased with it. And it will offer better economy or match economy of some of the modern diesel rivals, such as the little Polo diesel or things like that, a little super mini that's practical. It's brilliant. I mean, if you're looking for a little super mini this sort of size, something that's practical for the family even, or even if you've just passed your test and you're wanting something economical, something cheap to run, something that's stylish, I wouldn't turn down the Yaris. I mean, it's a fantastic little car. I mean, there's not much else to say about it really. It is a fantastic little car. So, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to Vantage Toyota at Scarborough for allowing me to take out and review the 4th gen Toyota Yaris today. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I will pop Joe's details in the description down below, so make sure to check that out, and there'll be a link for the Vantage Toyota Scarborough website, so you can check out their offers and what there is on the new and used range available from them. So for me, I've been having a bit of fun with my photography lately. I'm getting really into my car photography. It's something that I'm really enjoying. These reviews for you guys, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm actually absolutely loving it. It gives me a bit of time away from the kids. Obviously I am the stay-at-home dad. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the drive in the Yaris. So I'll catch you all in a bit, and I'll see you on the next one.